The advantage photography has versus other mediums is its breadth of application. Photography lives in our lives in so many ways. Images in general are things that transcend language. Images shape culture. The way we encounter images shapes our conversations. They're these things that hit the gut as much as they hit the mind. My name is Tyler Mitchell. I'm an artist, photographer, and filmmaker. We are currently in my Brooklyn studio. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. It's a city that has so many dimensions to it. I mean, at the very core of the city is a deep understanding and celebration of Black culture, Black life, and visual style. I think that in my practice, there's always been a sort of fascination with how clothes play a role in the construction of our identities, utilizing beauty as the hook to welcome that conversation. And this idea of reinterpreting dress as a political statement, not just an aesthetic one. My entry point into photography was really actually through filmmaking first. And my entry into filmmaking was actually through skateboarding. There's an element of style to that. There's an element of storytelling to just filming that sport. It brought me all the way here to New York to pursue film. And it was only at that point that I became interested in being a photographer and an artist as well. So this wall is where I review prints that are in process. These are actual darkroom prints. What I'll do is I'll line up prints that I've done variations on, and I'll stand back and I'll look at, for example, how the skin is looking. That feels too magenta to me. It's an instinctive thing, whereas this is sitting in a more balanced place that feels reflective of what it looked like in real life. Every print really is a problem to be solved, something to be explored, something to be maximized. These works you're looking at are from a series I did in 2022 called Chrysalis, which really took up these ideas of transformation and emergence, where the young Black men and women I'm photographing are navigating their environments, whether it was mud, whether it was water, environments like mosquito nets or artificial sky backdrops. Nature and pastoral environments play a whole character in the world of my work. Thinking about a space for meditation, but also for transcendence. This is also part of the Chrysalis body of work, thinking about that history of the use of the painted scenic as a site of aspiration and desire and yearning. Fabric and, by extension, laundry had actually played a role in my work for years before I started thinking about what it might be like to print the work on fabric. First, it was practical. It was the cheapest, it was the most affordable, and then it took on this poetic quality. It became something where I felt I was having conversations about proverbial domestic space, about the symbol of the laundry line as it relates to history of Black labor, of care, of intimacy, of clothes, of fashion. So all those fascinations came together around this symbol of fabric.
Were these young men that you knew specifically, or were you casting for
People
this
I've
series?
found,
Yeah.
some of them are photographers themselves. Some are people I seek out. I'm often asking the people in my work to play, to find an engaging shape, to just take this, and I would say, you know, what would happen if you just kind of walk off that way with the backdrop? And what would happen if you tried to hang it up in a post or a place that feels right to you? So it's a sense of discovery. Together, we are both creating moments, constructing moments, but they're also, you know, creating their own scenes, and then I'm finding them with them. It's a collaboration, and memory is at the center of all of that. I'm sort of drawing from experiences I've had in the past. I'm drawing from visuals that shape all of our sort of cultural consciousness, as it were, throughout time. This is actually a book about the work of the Gee's Bend quilters. I'm looking at how they're mapping space, how they're color blocking. I'm looking at the works as expressions of a deep, intimate, laborious Black Southern tradition. Optics really do mean everything in our world. This theatrical scene of a young boy just floating above water with a arrangement of balloons starting to rise from that very water. All of those things are meant to twist our understandings of the familiar, or what we find familiar in beautiful photographs, to twist those things and to, remap those things with black figures at the center of some of those scenes. Those are all, I think, my purpose as a person, and I think it starts, begins, and ends with images.